All right. Yep. Yep. Louder or no? All right. All right. All right. All right. Everyone's hearing me? Yep. Over there? Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone first. I hope you enjoy. Did you enjoy? That's cool. Another round of applause, by the way, for Qonto for welcoming us. So you might have all met Stefan over there. Thank you. And Emric joined us, so CTO of Qonto, one of the judges. Thank you, Quadrant, as well, for co-organizing this with us. So most of you have met Andre already, was with us all day long, right? Co-founder and CTO of Quadrant. And now among the judges, so we have another special guest with Marie. Oh, you can stand up, you can stand up. And Gabriel, Dust co-founder. So the rules. So 6 teams are going to come on stage and demo and present what they've built during the day for like 5 minutes max, okay? Then you'll get to, a little Q&A session with the judges, like 1, 2, 3, 4 questions, and that's it, okay? And then they'll take their time over there to deliberate, most impactful team number 1, most impactful team number 2, and most creative project, okay? Sounds good. So, without further ado, first one, team number 8, with Gabriel. Come on stage, come demo what you've built. Enhance your debating skills with a set of agents. Good.
Hi. Hi everyone. I'm Gabriel. He's Gary. He's my friend. And usually my friend, they have a huge problem with me. Is they say I always have the last word. So the thing is, it's true, but they just lack debating skills. That's what I think. So we created a tool for my friends for them to be better at debate. So especially we thought like, what if they could have the feedback of like famous debaters or famous historical figures? They're actually AI agents, you guessed it. So this is what we did. We used the OpenAI Agents SDK. We didn't use Dust today. Also, we used Fast API for the backend and React for the frontend. We did a huge session of vibe coding. So using the new Gemini, which is really powerful, you'll see it. And this is us. So without further ado, let me show the app. So the app comes like this. So first you have to choose a debate subject. So do you want to choose a debate subject? What's the typical dinner topic that leads to drama? Tell me like one politics subject, if anyone has an idea. Okay, you know that AI, they have a knowledge cutoff, so they won't know about tariffs. Okay, let's try tariffs. Okay. Plus, we have to choose a complexity level. So now we'll stick with a medium level opponent. And plus, we have to choose juries who will review what we say. So let's stick with these juries. You can also add a custom jury, just like you, for example. So now it's setting up the debate. So you'll see it's actually, okay, so this is me. On the left, you're debating me. So it has a custom description, whatever. Gabi Lorenzo Di Cantico. Okay, so he says, sure, Trump's tariff makes sense if you think about setting all scores in the trade playground. Blah, 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 blah. So what we do is try to answer him. Who needs a healthy economy with was inspired by 8 years old mind? Oh, that's tough. So let's say, hey, I actually think Trump tariffs are logical. You have to balance the commercial debt. Okay, you responded, I get that, but imagine trying to fix a leaky faucet by flooding the house. I don't know what that means. The funny thing is, the juries, they actually like reacted to what we said. And you can also see like on top, the global opinion bar, it shifted. That means I am leading the so far the debate. So Picasso, tariffs, they're just canvas for chaos. That's poetic. So let's respond to him. But okay, the text to speech isn't that good. The speech to text isn't that good. So Samia De Milo, whatever. Okay, he responds or whatever. Then the debate just ends because we put on a timer. Then the juries are actually reviewing what we just said, and they will give us an opinion on what we said. And they will give us constructive feedback. So let's see this feedback. So my opponent scored twice as much point as me. But you can also see like the full transcript and the feedback of the juries. So you can also into much details, like Buddha, for example, he rated us the relevance of our arguments as a 6. So this is really a way to improve your debating skills. So that's it. And just one last thing, like I thought, like, where could we take this to? So are you addicted to some like LinkedIn daily games, like Wordle, for example? So I'm sure some of you guys are. So in 2 or 3 years, we will be the next daily game, just like Wordle. And this is actually a screenshot from the web for 3 years from now. Thank you.
Two, three questions.
Yeah, could you just talk a bit about the stack that ended up being developed?
Okay, so the stack is basically so the Open AI Agents SDK. It offers you a way to create agents really easily, give them like instructions and offs, and so we use that. Plus, we used Fast API to create routes that communicate with our front end. Do you want me to get into details about one thing? So, basic AI agents that you can pick the model from.
Can you keep your score from one game to the next? Sorry, like karma points from one game to the next.
Yeah, you can actually in the current version. You can, so you can go back to your previous debates and see like the last screen that we saw, like the result screen with the transcript and the outcome. So this is a way to like improve your, really have a trace of what you improved on.
So you have a judges for this debate, right? Are those judges aware of who is a bot and who is actual person?
They are not actually. They just know your debater 1 and debater 2. So they will give an equal like treatment to each. And we thought like that was important. And so they don't know. They just rely on the conversation history, and that's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you think that playing with this can change some people's minds?
I think yeah, it can open their minds to like new opinions, like they wouldn't be like confronted to. Plus, I find it really cool like to chat with like Nikola Tesla, for example. He's dead, but that's a fanboy in me.
Second team to come on stage. Team number 2 with David and Alexandre.
So this is not an AI assistant, but it's a human assistant for, better trying to meuble, as we say in French.
Actually, we did not think that we would make it on stage, so we were not prepared like the people at the Oscar when they just have to do an impro, so we'll try to improvise. So let me start. So we stick to Dust today. We were only using Dust, or mainly using Dust, I would say. And the pitch is, dear recruiter, imagine an AI-powered assistant selecting the top 3 candidates for each position from the pile of resumes you receive daily. Cherry on the cake, this assistant will schedule an interview with your preferred choice. Okay. Someone wants the mic? I go on? Okay. So we'll have a journey. So we have Alexandre here, who wants a great guy or girl to join his team. And he wants to write the perfect job description to just attract the perfect candidate. And he has the help of a job desk writer, which is a Dust assistant, who is very performant. And he receives tons of resumes. So he has a lot of them, and he doesn't have time to skim through all of these resumes. It's an avalanche of candidates, and you can see on the center bottom that he has another assistant, which helps him organize all the information so that we'll scan all the resume and organize it in a Google spreadsheet so that the content is well organized. But he's not sure. Maybe he received some fake candidates. So he will trigger another assistant, which is called background check, which will search basically on the internet all the information it can find on LinkedIn posts, or any other information to see if it matches the resume or if there are some discrepancies that might be worth investigating. Someone wants to continue?
So after verify with their background, we're going to like go through their profiles to see really if their candidate profile really matches the job description. Then after this, we will do a quick analyze using the recruitment analyzer agent. After this, we are going to use the HR call agent, which going to use 11 labs and another one to make a phone call to confirm the interview with the candidate. And we have a last one, interview planner, to give a summary of questions which may be useful for the HR to pose during the interview session. Yeah.
So the idea is to have an end-to-end process from the job desk, the ID you have, to you have an actual interview. So what we can demo, it's maybe the call we have directly from Dust. So you say, okay, I have this list of resumes. I'm very interested in that person because I want to have a touch point with that. And then I put a number. I put my number so you can see it. This is only for demo purpose. Huh? Yeah. demo effect, right? So this is calling me.
I'm Caroline from Dust HR team. How are you?
I'm good.
Data analyst position you previously applied for. Are you still interested in this opportunity?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. To proceed, I'd like to know your availability for a meeting or interview. Could you please share some dates and times that work for you?
I will be available on next Monday at 10 a.m.
Okay, that's great. Just to confirm, you're available next Monday at 10 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes.
Could you please confirm the best contact information for you, such as your phone number or email address, to ensure we have the correct details for the meeting?
You can use the same contact info you already have for me.
Understood. I'll use the contact information we have on file. Thank you for confirming your availability for next Monday.
So this is pretty much it, and then the meeting will be planned in my agenda. So this is at the end, and then I can use the interview planner in the same conversation, just to prepare the interview with this with me actually. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, I'll try this. Well done, guys, this is great. Just a quick question on the selection process. Can you walk us through, it's a little bit black boxy, can you walk us through how the decision is made?
Yes. So here, actually, you get some resumes. Let's say you have a database of resumes, and then you have an extraction tool that can get all the information from that resume. So this is first information you have, and then you have a higher score agent that would score this agent based on some criteria we have given, like the clarity on some points. This is the database, actually. So here you have the full resume, and then if you go there, you have the scoring. So you can see the matching score with the job desk, and then you have some detailed information if I need. And then you can run the background check just to see if there is anything you need to know. And then you have this information. And this is also based on Dust, so it's working there directly. If you just click on here, you can see this is directly a Dust function called from Dust. Is that clear?
Sort of.
Okay.
Just one more question. On the phone call, just in terms of user experience, how did that feel for you?
Not because you can tell I'm talking to a bot. Next few years.
Great bounce back, thank you.
It's in the roadmap.
My question would be, what happens if candidate starts to automate this process from another end?
I think that's the future. Only AI agents talking to each other. No other comments.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Next one up on the stage, number 34 with DustOS.
Thank you very much for Qonto, for Dust, for Quadrant, and all the organization and participation. It was really a nice experience. So our vision for AI and for tools like Dust, we think that they are more than just aggregator. They will be the next interface for employees. The idea is that we are going to replace our tens of tools with a unique tool, ideally. That will be a really nice idea, just to have less tabs in our browser. And we come up with the idea of building an OS for Dust. So the idea is that in Dust you can have some agents. You can connect your agents to databases, and you can create apps directly from Dust as well. And at the same time, we are now having apps that are able to control the web and to make concrete action on your web browser. And so DustOS is the aggregator of all this. He can access the agents that you have on your Dust workspace, and he also has access to a tool called Web Browser that allows him to make any action that you need directly in the web. So he can access LinkedIn, HubSpot, Notion, any other tools that you need, and we worked on implementing this today. So just to show a bit how browser use look like, it's an open source project that allows to make this kind of stuff, like from a prompt, accessing the web and doing concrete actions. So we deployed it on our local setup, and through ngrok we made a tunnel to be able to have an API that we are going to access directly from Dust. And here is what the app looks like. So we have the API call for browser use that triggers the task that we want it to do, and it will be triggered on the local machine. Then we aggregate the results from browser use. So he will give a list of all the tasks that he made and the final conclusion. And at the end, we have a summarizer that uses OpenAI API to make a summary of what the agent did, and like to say, okay, I made this first step, this second, etc. And here is the conclusion. And at the end, we return the result. So I will launch a demonstration, hoping it will work. So just to know you another part of the project. So here we built our agent like this. We give it some instruction. He has access to our app that we built, and he can run it only one time. And yeah, we have some other instruction. So here, let's try it. So I'm calling it, and then I ask him to sign in on Notion. I have to give him my password, which is not safe at all. Don't do that. Don't reproduce that at home. But that's some security concerns that are on our roadmap as well. And then we ask him to create an empty new page called demo on Notion. I ask him to not use a template, and then he has to write thanks Dust Qonto Quadrant. I hope it will work. So it is opening my browser on my local machine. It's a bit slow. Browser use is a quite new project, so all the problem that you will have with the ChatGPT operator, you will have them with this tool, and then he will put the email address. And we have in the background we have a mechanism that is made by browser use that allows us to connect on the app without the model having the email and password. Obviously, here I'm giving them to Dust, but I trust Dust. So. So we tried initially we tried a demo on LinkedIn. At the beginning it was working well, but then we had to resolve some complex captcha. When it's just clicking on a button, it's okay. They can web browser can overcome that. But when you have to make a puzzle or choose between images or something, some stuff like this, he cannot do it. So we could not reproduce the demo on LinkedIn, but we are giving like the ID of where all this is going to, and maybe we are going to organize another hackathon to find the use cases of this kind of tools. Okay, so let's check. I think okay. It didn't work.
Almost.
I'm sorry for that. Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Hi. I'm going to put my investor hat on for a second. I was a non-technical co-founder of a deeply technical startup, but I'm trying to understand what the use case is, and I haven't understood that. Can you walk us through why what you've done is better than any previously existing solution?
So here the idea is that you can access any tools in your web, even tools that are not connected to API or MCP protocols. And so it offers a lot of opportunities, like even for B2C use cases. You can just send a message on WhatsApp and ask web browser to go and book some books on Amazon or some stuff like automation that are more than just the automation that we are going to be able to do from APIs and MCPs.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Thanks.
No further questions.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So the next one on stage.
Wanted to mention that it actually worked in the demo. So
They have a special helper here. So next one on stage is a solo builder, Axel, with medication helper and pharmacy finder.
Sorry, technical issues.
Take your time.
Hello? Great, it works. But the screen share doesn't. Great. Okay. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. For like 2 weeks ago, I have to admit I wasn't. Okay, so basically the whole story is that by accident, by pure accident, I ate an egg that I didn't fully cook. Bad, bad, bad stomach aches. And basically, I'm the type of guy that when they have a stomachache, they like can't really get out of bed unless they really want to, and I forgot to take medication. So, not a great start. And I couldn't move myself out of my bed to look on a computer where is the most nearby pharmacy and stuff like that. So afterwards, I've told myself, hey, actually, let's solve this problem for us. So basically, there are two components that you can see on the screen. What I've made, I call it Atomed. Thank GPT-4o for the logo. I just like it. And it has two functionalities. The first one is you have symptoms that you can put on the medication finder. I'm going to demo them right after. And then it will go through the whole ANSM medication documentation. Those are the over-the-counter medications, the one you can purchase on a pharmacy without having to ask for permission for a permission. And afterwards, you have a button that can allow you to find the most nearby pharmacy. The front is built thanks to Vercel's Next.js library. The back is in FastAPI. I'm going to go over the technical backend of the others while they work. So here, let's say something like, for instance, I'm going to use the microphone function. Hello, I am having transportation sickness. Can you help me? Great. The Whisper one is working. So what happens is that it will look through the medication database of the ANSM for medication related to transportation sickness. This is an example. Stomachache is like, they have a lot of medicaments, so I didn't want to go through the whole process for the demo. So basically what happens is that once it's done, you have a list of recommended medication through the ANSM database. You have the metoprimazine, or it's in French, with a web search that is used to find all the precautions, because there are medications that you can take if you're a pregnant woman. There are medications you can take if you extend them for more than 2 days. So this is what it's next. And then we can go for the nearby pharmacy where I can find it. So here, does anyone have the address? I'm going to need it. I'm going to go for the Qonto address. I'm going to copy paste it right over there. This is where I need in my mouse. And then what's going to happen is that you have the Google Maps MCP that is going to be called by Gemini 2.0 Flash to find the most nearby pharmacy given this address, which then will call the Google Maps API to find their hours of opening and whether they're closed or not given this hour. And then it will output all of them, like for instance, the Pharmacie des Martyrs, and all of them, like 10 most nearby pharmacies. And if we look at the Pharmacie des Martyrs, for instance, you can see that it's pretty nearby, like 9 arrondissement. So basically, the next step is to turn this into an app for my phone. So next time I'm sick, I know what to do. Thank you for listening.
Can you tell us a bit about the introduction of the database and how it's technically connected to the conversation?
Yes, so you have this medication database. This is from the Médicaments en accès direct. It's a CSV file that has taxonomies of medicaments. Like I can go over the Excel if you explain it better. Here you have this, and you have the name of the medication, and most notably the issues, like for instance, menopausal, herpes, and the list of other medication. What it does is when you put your symptoms, it will link them to those medication using a reasoning model. So I use Gemini 2.5 Pro, and I ask it to output a reasoning specifically on structured output. And then it will link it to, using structured outputs, to the list of classes. There are around 20 classes, so it can be done in structured outputs. And then, once you do this, you use the CSV file to filter and find the medication. And considering there are a lot of classes, for instance, like I said, stomach aches, the model can also ask for like 3 rounds of iteration to ask for more details so that it can do less medication. Because what we have to do is for the prescription, we need to do web search.
Okay, thanks.
Did you consider that people could try to use what's in their local pharmacy at home, even if it's not public access?
Basically, my main reason for this app isn't to get the medication right, it's to get people to move. Because if they move to the pharmacy because they have a goal, even if they don't get the medication right, they can say to the pharmacian, hey, I have this issue. Could you help me more over it? Because the main reason why I needed to do this was because I'm the kind of type of person that doesn't move without a goal. And sometimes I just don't know the medication. So having like 2 base medication I can use and ask the pharmacian about my diarrhea, my stomach aches, can really, really help me move.
That's smart.
Next one, up on stage, number 25, with an AI sales enabler. 25.
So, hello everyone. We worked on a Dust agent, which is called Partner 360. So the whole objective of this agent is to provide a 360 view of our clients. So basically, Wacom is a B2B2C company. So we are meeting a lot of our insurance distributors. And before going to see our distributors, we are looking at external data coming from internet, the latest news, the number of employees, etc. And internal data coming from different sources, structured financial data from Excel file in SharePoint or in Snowflake, unstructured data coming from legal documents inside SharePoint too, etc., etc. So Dust allows us to get all of this data and to through a galaxy of Dust app. And then I will demo it. So basically, we have a Dust agent that has different tools that are Dust apps that let us trigger web search. So it's like a deep search. Snowflake call to retrieve financial and contractual indicators. And for the contractual indicators, it's asynchronously processed because there is a lot of documents, there is a lot of data, and we want it to be fetched, to be produced before the user use the application. And the last one is tools to be able to export in docx, CSV, and PPTX what the user wants from the report. So the apps look like that. You use Partner 360. You give it the name of the partner distributor that you want to have a look. It will trigger the different Dust application, the deep search, the different Snowflake requests, and then produce a complete report. So if you see XX, it's because we have censored information, because it's a production. It was hard to put that in the prompt to actually have it censored information, and you have data that is extracted from the contract. So if I go to the end and I say to 60 generate document, he will take the markdown of the report, give it to a Dust apps that will then call a DeFi workflow. So we use DeFi as a more advanced workflow orchestrator when we can build what we need to, execute Python code, etc. That is going to convert the markdown into a docx file and upload the file into an Azure storage account, and then give back a link to download the document. So, okay. He now has the link, we generate, and I can click on download the document, retrieve the document, and I have my report in a docx file with the different elements in it. And if you want to see behind the hood, it's a Dust app that is calling our DeFi workflow, getting the results, outputting it to the agents, and in DeFi, it's a workflow that can take different formats in input, the content to convert. There is a classification. For PowerPoint, it uses an LLM because it needs the content needs to be changed, formatted for that, and then it uploads it.
I'm curious about the actual censoring. How did you decide to implement that, and how confident are you about the robustness of the solution?
For the docx, it works well because it's a simple library. For the whole
no, specifically for the censoring of the information that you think is confidential.
That's why I scroll down fast, because on the contractual indicators, it's not all censored.
Okay.
So it's just for the demonstration, because internally we don't have this issue, because the ones that has access to the agent are the ones that should have access to the underlying information.
Just a quick question. We actually, and this is valid concern for all the people who are going on the stage, we talk a lot about how we're building things. Can you tell us a bit more about why you build it? Maybe one of your partners can answer that question. And nice to see women on stage too. Thanks for being here.
So the reason why we are within Partner 3016 is that our client team and our top management in the they have to know all the information that are inside our company that we have already with this partner, and the information that are in the internet. So they take 3 days to collect information from the claims team, from the legal team, from the market watch, to gather all this information before getting back to the partner and discussing with the partner. So with this agent, with building this agent, in few minutes they have all the information and all the 360 view for the partner, and they can check the information and get back to the partner very easily.
So instead of 3 days, you've toned it down to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Do you think your sales team is going to use it for the next client meeting?
We hope so, yeah.
We should have brought them in to tell us live.
Yes.
One question from my side. So you use these reports to make a decision, like a management decision, right? But the numbers in this report go through language model, right? How reliable language model actually are for working with numbers? Like how you make sure that it does not hallucinate some percentage?
As any AI application, we are planning and working on an evaluation. We are using LangFuse for observability, and we are using tools. We are evaluating in a process. We evaluate extraction, and we use also NNM as a judge to evaluate returns. So since here is our evaluators. So we have answer correctness. We also check for indicators, CEO indicator score. We check for products and latest news. So every part of the project, since it uses many tools, will be evaluated, and we use LangFuse to see our indicators and display our scores.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And the last team to come on stage, number 12, with code fixing.
Okay. Hello, last team. So we are a team of people that didn't know each other before, and when we started this morning, we were first brainstorming an idea. We really wanted to solve some kind of problem end to end that kind of like occurs very often in our life, and we're all working somewhere around software engineering. And one thing that happens really often is that some kind of non-technical coworkers like product managers or designers, they want to fix something small, you know, like a typo or a button that is not working, some glitches. So little functional things that should be documented somewhere, that shouldn't be too hard to fix, but it still needs a dev, it needs a process, a ticket, time to solve it. And we wanted to tackle this problem by creating an agent that can be used by this kind of non-technical persons to have, in the end, a solution that is working in production and solving these little functional issue end-to-end for this person without using a dev.
Thank you. So let's imagine you're a PM going on the website. For example, this is like a basic website we've built for a swimming pool in Paris. And you're doing some QA and you want to try the book now button for external visitors. And you just notice that does nothing. It just reloads the page. You could open a ticket, ask your engineering team to look into it, wait for a few days because it's maybe not a priority. But you can also use book now button is maybe a priority for this one. But yeah. But you could also just go to the agent, just say, okay, the book now button for external does not work. And the agent is going to look into our knowledge base, which is in Notion, connected to Dust, to try and understand exactly what it's supposed to do. And then it's going to call an external agent that is going to do the actual fixing by using a few tools at his disposal. So it's running. The agent is running locally, and it's accessed through an ngrok tunnel, and it's going to be called and make a few steps. It has access to a few tools in order to read code, write code, edit code, and then commit and push everything. And then it's going to send back the information to the Dust agent so he can report back to the user. And in the meantime, there is a workflow that was triggered because the code was pushed by the agent. So we can look at the code over there. So it just did a very, very small fix, actually. And then once it's deployed, yeah, it should actually be fixed in production. So if I go there, it will actually slide down to the page to the bottom because that's what it was expecting to do. Another quick fix we can do is, for example, the price is not right. So we want it to be €6 instead of 350. So we can just say, okay, the price for external visitor should be, it's easy, €6. And it should do the same process, call the agent, do the small modifications, commit that, deploy it into production in a few minutes. And so it's a very useful agent for fixing some typos on the website or stuff like that, which will usually take a few days. It could be done in a few minutes. Right now, we are pushing directly to production. Of course, the best practice would be to open a PR and have someone validate it. But you know, for the demo, it's a bit more nice. So yeah, it's going to do all of that. Commit. It's going to actually deploy. Okay, over there. And let's hope it worked. Deploying. All right. Yeah, and the price is now €6 in production.
Yes, hello everyone. I just wanted to add some quick elements, maybe. Please think of this as a POC, like really proof of concept. What's important to keep in mind is if we are able to pull a base code and push some change, we are completely able to open PRs, create ephemeral environments, deploy to staging. So you can imagine actually any workflows implementing good practices in terms of lifecycle management, bringing these changes. So this is just it.
Yeah, that's it.
Hello, that's pretty cool. I was wondering how much knowledge the agent has at its disposal to understand what's happening and what should be happening, because it seemed to narrow down the work really quickly when you put it in a very generic way.
Yeah, so the Notion documentation has like 10 pages, I think, or something like that, which is describing all the pages and the process and what they should do. And so Dust is doing the actual RAG and extracting the data and just sending the exact context to the engine, which is the so we are using small agents for Hugging Face for the framework part of the agent. I don't have the Notion opened, but yeah, it's a few pages explaining
so
what
it
it
uses
does.
the code and the docs.
Sorry?
It uses the code and the docs, but it doesn't look at the website.
No, it does not. That would be like using a browser to open with Selenium or anything.
Okay,
Could do
interesting.
that too. Thank you.
$12. Yep. So while the judges are taking their time and making their choices, drinks are served in the kitchen. So help yourself. Thanks, everyone. And see you in a few minutes.